For those of us who are followers of Jesus, we know from the Bible that God has called us to be his ambassadors. Ambassadors. You say, what's an ambassador, Dan? Glad you asked. An ambassador is it's basically someone who is sent out to represent this authority who has sent him or her. Like in biblical times, it would have been common for a king to send out a diplomat to some other country or some other kingdom, and that diplomat speaks for the king, represents the king. Do you ever think of yourself that way? Like, if you're a Christian, do you think of yourself as someone who is sent out by your king to represent him? Here's what it says in the Bible. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 19 and 20. In the Bible it says this: "For God was in Christ, reconciling the world to himself, no longer counting people's sins against them, and he gave us," the ambassadors, he gave us this wonderful message of reconciliation. See, what's going on here is Jesus has made it possible for people to be forgiven, to be made whole, to be made right with God. He's made it possible to be reconciled, for people to be reconciled to God. And God is bringing that message, this great message of reconciliation, he's bringing it to people through us. Here, continuing with the text, it says, so, in the Bible text, so we are Christ's ambassadors. That's the actual phrase. We are Christ's ambassadors. God is making his appeal through us. We speak, this is the Bible, we speak for Christ when we plead, come back to God. Hey, you know what? God has plans to use you for good purposes, for his purposes, for purposes of reconciliation. Think about it like this. Where are you going today? What will you be doing today? Who are you going to come into contact with? You're a representative of God as you do those things. Keep in mind, in all these things, wherever you go, whatever you do, whoever you're dealing with, you are doing this as a sent out one. You're doing whatever, you and I, we're doing whatever we do as ambassadors. We are representing our King.